Alettiin juuri täällä pelaamaan. Katsotaan miten jää.
Suomi! 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 Suomi!
Kentällä, mites täällä? Antti ja
Suomi!
Ja nyt antakaa palaa viimeiset hetket selvittää, kuka meillä menee ilmakiekkoon.
Moi!
Joining Team Finland for their interest.
Lil Mama. Hei hei. No niin. Okei. Ei ollut yhtään. Tonight we're going to rise like heroes. Spirits high, and we'll do what to take. Seas like dragons in disguise. Feeling stars of fire.
Welcome back to Tampere as Finland and Austria get set to meet here at the 2022 IIHF Men's World Hockey Championship. Finland sitting on top of Group B. It has been a short turnaround, as Dave mentioned a little while ago, for the Austrian squad. After a night game last night, a game they played very well in. There's your officiating crew for this game. It is triple header Saturday. We've already gone through one game. That one went to extra time as the United States in overtime on a goal by Adam Gaudette defeated Sweden. And the reason we mention that is it allows Finland to remain on top of Pool B. There's Roger Batter. Felt his team played very well last night, which they did. Outshot Latvia 19-4 from the third period on. And Jukka Jalonen, the head coach for Finland, knows that destiny and first place in Pool B is back in their own hands after that game earlier today.
And Finland's typically rotated their goalies coming into World Championship play, but they're going to ride the guy that helped them last game, as we see Pestinen, who's had a feisty tournament.
Tillian Sundell had the assist on a huge goal last night that sent the game to overtime. Valtteri Filppula, the captain of the Finnish team. Dave Kickert will get the start in goal for Austria. 28 years of age, plays for the Vienna Capitals, got into 3 qualifying games and was very good there. And speaking of very good, UCO Kenora. #1 goals against average in this World Championship. #1 save percentage in this World Championship. 9-1 all time in World Championship play. Both teams resting some people. Jiri Inola not in the lineup for Finland. Harri Sateri is not even dressed for this game. And as far as Austria is concerned, Bernard Starkbaum, their #1 netminder, is not in this game. And Dominik Heinrich, who has 2 power play goals for them, plays big-time minutes on the back end. He is not in this game. And Benjamin Baumgartner is injured, and he is done for the tournament. But as far as Starkbaum and Heinrich are concerned, Austria is simply looking at its final game of this championship coming up and realizing that there's plenty on the line yet after this game against Finland.
And that final game for them will be Monday against, as you mentioned, Great Britain. And early in this game, we see the Finns in their puck-controlling ways.
Shot, that's blockered away by Kickert. Punch back out at center, and Lettinen will go back for it. Leads all defensemen in scoring in this tournament. Mikko Lettinen does with 7 points. Puck bounces at the side of the net, gets cleared out at center ice. Lettinen averaging 20 minutes and 33 seconds of ice time per game, leads the Finland team in that department. 16 shots on goal, leads them in that department. +5 leads the team in that department as well. There's a shot to the short side by Granlund, turned aside by Kickert. Back for Lettinen, down for Manninen. To the front of it, and it comes. Round the boards for Granlund. Granlund will send it back for Hartikainen. Hartikainen working it in behind David Kickert. Centers for Filppula. Scores! Valtteri Filppula as Finland starts the line change. Kickert trying to get back into position. Hartikainen just waited and waited until Filppula got into position.
Early start for the Finns in this one, and the Austrian defensemen don't want to commit, but they have their back to everything. Filppula comes into a scoring area as they're trying to protect the pass, but it's easier for the forward. He knows where he needs to put that puck. And this slips past the glove side of Kickert, who was trying to gauge when to look over his shoulder to the puck behind the net, when to readjust to the puck, to the front of the net. 3 shots for Finland, 1 goal early.
Miro Heiskanen in his second game with Finland, plays it on for Seppala, comes back for Heiskanen. On for Valtteri Filppula, the captain of this team. He was captain of the Olympic team for Finland that won gold in Beijing. Heiskanen with a wrist shot, and kicker will hang on.
Both Heiskanen and Lindell picked up a point each in their opening game. Granlund puts it behind the net to Hartikainen, and he's not going to move. If nobody comes to him, and it's a matter of waiting for someone to come in the scoring area, and that's Filppula coming into your screen. Went off the goaltender, still had enough to get to the back of the net.
Third of the tournament for Valtteri Filppula. Granlund will now get another point. That's 6 for him in this World Championship. This gets deflected down into the Austrian end of the ice, and Kickert will send it on for Philip Wimmer, back in the lineup after serving a 1-game suspension. Feldner with the shot. Bit of a late call, but it was whistled down offside against Austria.
Vince not only excited for this game, but looking forward to a big matchup. It will come on Tuesday against Czechia. And for Austria, in their own zone, they try not to chase too much. They're trying to conserve some energy as well because of the turnaround from the late game last night. Less than 18 hours later, they're back at it, but already having to skate uphill.
Finland and Austria, by the way, the first 2 teams to play 6 games. This is winding down the preliminary round for these 2 teams. Finland will have Czechia for its final game, and as Dave mentioned, Austria will have Great Britain for its final game, and simply put, the winner of that team will advance and the loser will get relegated. There are some different variations there. Mayer back into his own zone. And Finland starts the line change as Unterweger will start back. Leads Austria in per game average ice time just ahead of Marco Kasper. Centered up front, and that is deflected, and all the way back down the ice it goes. And Sundell plays it around for Bernd Wolf. Up for Raffel. Raffel gets it out at center. Nico Brunner plays it across, and a wrister from Sundell goes off a stick. Raffel's going to send this back from where it came. And a race to the near side. Schneider there, Sundell is there, but it is Big Antela who will jam this out to center ice.
It seems the NHL defensemen are a little bit more adept at getting the stick into a shot versus others, as Sundell looked like he had a clear lane, and Lindell, just when he needed to, got the stick in there to distract the shot.
Heitinen off the backboards. Hartikainen for Mananen, and Mananen sends it off the corner boards. First on it, and he chipped the backhander over top the net. Heitinen for Lettinen, back for Heitinen. Tees it up, rips it, that just went wide. 17 points from defensemen so far in this tournament for Finland. They have got production from the back end. This will be an icing call against Austria.
It's a high number, and for Finland, they certainly like to, when they're in the offensive zone, bring about one-on-one play, as this is knifed wide from Mananen, who's put some points up on the board so far in this 2022 Men's World Championship. A couple of power play goals for him.
Add 4 assists, that gives him 6 points. Shot to the short side by Mikhail Seppala, and Kickert will hang on to that. Seppala is the only Finnish player to yet pick up a point in this World Championship.
Well, you hope that there's not a goaltender assist and then he's on an island, but the contrasting styles of this game will be Finland having the puck in the offensive zone working around the outside, and Austria not wanting to commit too far away from their net. So it'll be a lot of Finland in the offensive zone.
Ackerman kicks the loose puck back to the blue line. Long shot. That never got through. That comes off the stick of Philip Wimmer. Bruner trying to hold the blue line at the right point does. Throwing cross ice and grabbed off by Rajala. He'll chip it off the boards and out the center and back inside the Austrian line. And Nico Bruner will wind it up. Sends it on. Howdem gets to the blue line area. Doesn't get across. Stick lift there. Howdem getting some help there from Ganal. And it's played back for David Mayer. Mayer will play it for Bernd Wolf. Back for Mayer. Chips it off the glass. Lamico going after it. Gets some help. And cleared out through center ice again. And Mayer will regroup. Mayer sends it on. Howdem will deflect it in. Sammy Vatanen is after it. Try to get that for Armia. Away from him and all the way back to the Austrian line it goes. Boy, that puck came to a stop in a hurry.
Yeah, hit some of the snow that's already accumulated at the bench door.
Maina-Lennon drops it back. Shot from the line by Otama. Turned away by Kickert. Antala plays it back in behind the net. Maina-Lennon, who missed the game because of suspension, plays it loose. Bjornanen gets it back to the line. Bjornanen was a face-off machine in the last game in that 6-0 win over Great Britain. Stuffed back in behind the net. As a result, he has moved into #1 in the face-off percentage of this World Championship. Bjornanen has 72.3%. That Great Britain game, he won 15 of 16. In for Hartikainen. For Manninen. Granlund slips in behind the net, anticipating that pass. Hartikainen plays it back at the line for Lehtinen. Lehtinen tried to get it back for Hartikainen, and it's off a stick and out of play. Finland with a 1-0 lead on the early goal from Valtteri Filppula. Saturday afternoon hockey here at Nokia Arena, and a 1-0 lead for the home team. Granlund, Manninen. Manninen works it back for Hartikainen, tried to swing it to the backside looking for Granlund. Intercepted, and Huber will carry it out. Huber gets tied up. Manninen lost his stick. Big Huber stays on it. Had a chance at the dying seconds of overtime in that game against Latvia last night. Lead pass. Ali Wakovitz with the long shot, and O'Connora will make the save and hang on, and that is the first shot on goal in this game for Austria. O'Connora coming off the shutout against Great Britain, where he only faced 10 shots. There's another blast on Kickert from Rajala, and Kickert will hang on to it.
And the longer this game goes on, I think the energy supply and levels of Austria will start to drop. And O'Connora last game against Great Britain, anything that came his way that he could glove, he would immediately put it back into play, keep the game going. He understands his team feels they're more fit to a man, and keep the pace and tempo high.
It's 7 and 10 days for Austria. They started the tournament with 4 and 5 days, then had an off day, and then that game against Latvia last night where they got better as the game went on. Ackerman at center, sends it in, trying to spring Nico Feldner. And around for Heiskanen. With some room, the smooth skating Heiskanen tried to go high short side. Kickert stayed with it. Heiskanen tracks it down. Heiskanen dumps it off. Pass back to the blue line. Freeman plays it on for Filppula. Back for Heiskanen. And finally it gets intercepted and cleared.
Heiskanen was going for a change, and they moved it back to the blue line that he had vacated, and then decided to stay on just to help start this breakout.
Freeman on for Pessanen, and he's stopped at center ice by Howdom. Kasper out there now with Howdom and Raffel. The young man that the NHL scouts have come to see. Pessanen trying to get that in behind the net, looking for Lammikko. It gets intercepted. The long pass up at center. Lammikko came across and cut that pass off before it got to Lucas Howdom. And Pessanen will play it back into his own zone as we hit the midway mark of period number 1. Esa Lindell. On for Ultima, on for Antila. Antila, the shot turned away by Kickert. Lindell plays give and go at the line with Ultima. Bjornen gets rubbed out. Ultima will play it back for Bjornen. Trying to pull away from the checking of David Mayer. At the line, Ultima sends it down low. Antila with the shot, Kickert the save, and Schneider has the rebound. Schneider across the line, dishes it off, and Thomas Raffel gets the shot through. Save made by Old Kenora. Valtteri Filppula with the only goal of this game.
So dance like a referee. Referee dance. Time out. Switch. Spear. High sticky. Go. Yeah. Team's referee wants more to dance.
Major penalty to Timo Meier has Canada on a 5-minute power play in Helsinki. Here an early goal from Valtteri Filppula as Finland up top 1-0. Granlund will take this back into his own end. 26 goals and 69 points in the 16-17 season for Granlund. That was a career year for him. Mannanen tried to slip this one through. Bernd Wolf sends it back up the boards. Comes back into the corner and skips away from Killian Zundell. Lebler's on it, lifts it out to center. Ali Wakovitz trying to track it down, gets some help from Lebler. Huber stopped at the line. Ackerman trying to follow up on the play, could not. And Kirschlager will slam this in from center, and it climbs up the dasher board and leaves the playing surface.
Austria wasn't at the top tournament last year, so 2019 was the last time at the World Hockey Championship, and they just couldn't get going. Losses in all of their games, and then their last game of the tournament was against Italy. They needed to win that one Italy had the shootout win 4-3. Italy stayed up. Austria relegated, but Silvanora knocks this one off to the side. No Division 1A championships the last 2 years, and they get invited back as a replacement team.
Hungary and Slovenia will be part of this championship next year, wherever it may be played. That is yet to be determined. Was supposed to be in Russia, that won't happen. Played around by Heiskanen. Seppala jumps in from the right point. Seppala ties it up. Salonen puts on the brakes, tried to go back deep into the corner, got a bump there from Feldner. And it's lifted back, and Okunora will settle it down for Miro Heiskanen. Heiskanen, number 3 in that draft. To the front for Pessanen. Pass didn't get there quick enough. Pessanen stays on it. Howden knocks it away out at center. Kasper got spilled, and back in for Pessanen. Pessanen takes that to the net. Kicker at the save. Puck is still loose. Jamming at it in front was Lamiko, and then it's grabbed off and taken by Yoel Armia. He'll leave it for Pessanen. Cross ice pass. That's deflected by Howden. Nico Brunner on for Marco Kasper. And Kasper will look for some open ice and find some. Plays it on for Ganal, back for Kasper. Kasper plays it off the back of the net, centered it in front. And Sami Vatanen there to clear it away. Vatanen knocks this out of midair. Comes back at the line, but it bounces off the stick of Unterweger. And back for David Mayer.
Marco Kasper, who's just about to change now, he certainly can skate himself out of trouble and then get pointed up ice in a hurry.
Mayer at the line. Raffel sends it back from where it came. Meyer on it again. And down low to intercept Maynalainen. And he'll drop it off there for Otama. Ati Otama slows it down while Finland completes the change. On for Granlund. Granlund centers, short side try, rebound. Couple chances there for Manninen. Granlund comes to the near side for Esa Lindell from Heitman. And Lindell's shot gets through. And a good save made by Kicker. 1-0, Finland with the lead. Final game tonight after this one, Norway and Czechia. Czechia coming off a tough loss and then a big win. Bounced out at center and Granlund knocked it down. This will be called a hand pass. And with 5:44 to go and the shot's 13-3 Finland, will have a face-off.
Dale Granlund, a first rounder back from Minnesota in 2010. Playing his trade with Nashville last couple of seasons.
Nico Hischier thought he had given Switzerland a 1-0 lead. After video review, the goal is disallowed, but Switzerland does kill off the 5-minute major to Timo Meier. Heitnen looking for Hartikainen. Huber is there for Austria, trying to get it back down low. Big Paul Huber has a goal in this tournament. Vukovic will chase this down. Fans start the wave. And the building gets noisy.
Yeah, not an empty seat here. And first the game with Sweden earlier, and now Finland, gracious hosts so far in this tournament.
Gerschlager puts this off the boards and out the center ice. And Seppala will retreat, plays it on for Heiskanen. There goes Heiskanen. He'll send it cross ice, trying to get that over for Hennelan. That got turned aside as knocked around it goes. Salonen puts it back in behind the net. Rayala ties it up and then gets tied up. Kasper's down there. Bruno trying to work it up the corner boards. Kasper in with a bump. Comes back to Kirschlager. Filppula jams it back to the line for Heiskanen. On for Seppala. Seppala the shot to the short side, and that got blocked by Kirschlager. Heiskanen on for Filppula. Back for Heiskanen. Lets the wrist shot go, and that just went wide. Taken by Nico Brunner, on for Ackerman. And Ackerman will send it out to center ice and go to the bench looking for the line change. Ackerman, 31 of 54 faceoffs in this World Championship, 57.4%. And an excellent night last night against Latvia. Ackerman winning 12 of 14 for an 85.7 success rate in that game against Latvia.
When Finland gets into the offensive zone, they really do spread out. And they'll be able to work it from one half wall to the point all the way across. They try to pull the other team, in this case Austria, away from the net, but Austria doesn't want to get too far away from their goaltender, so a lot of puck control by Finland in the offensive zone continues in this game.
Nicholas Freeman will fire this in. Freeman had the opening goal in the game yesterday afternoon against Great Britain for Finland. That stood to be the game winner, as UC Olkinuora only faced a total of 10 shots. Penalty coming up on the play, and is going to go to Thomas Raffel as he put the grab on Sami Vatanen. It was Raffel who got the tying goal in the third period last night that forced extra time. So Finland will go to the power play for the first time in this game.
They're just trying to gain an edge and hope to get to that loose puck. The captain for Austria, is Vatanen was about to spin, cut towards his own boards, and he tried to do it real quick just to jar the player, but that hold was there for too long, and Finland will get the first power play of the hockey game.
This will get hammered down the ice by Ackerman. Austria's penalty kill, 84.2%, number 5 in the World Championship starting today's competition. Finland's power play 7 for 19, 36.8%, which is third best at this World Championship. Manninen for Lehtinen, on for Granlund, back for Lehtinen and down for Manninen. Manninen into the slot, quick shot by Hartikainen, and a good save by Kickert. Granlund on it again, tried to pass it across. Hackle got in front of it. Taken by Vukovic, he'll get to the red line, slides it down the rest of the way, and heads to the bench on a change.
If you're the bumper guy between the hash marks and the puck's coming for you to shoot, you have to go upstairs, either back where the goalie came from, blocker side, or quicker over the glove. But Kickert got that left hand up in a hurry on Hartikainen.
Vatanen on for Rayala. He'll take a bump from Ganal. And this will be Ackerman trying to clear it. It does get out the center. Referees for this game, Jeff Ingram of Langley, Mikael Nord of Sweden. And on the power play is Finland. And Vatanen had trouble with that puck. Linesman, by the way, Nick Burgandy of Hartford, and Maxime Chaput of Montreal. Sent back for Heiskanen. For Rajala. And back for Heiskanen. One-timer from Vatanen. Kicker came across, makes the save. Snapped off the boards, knocked down. Finland will hold it in. Vatanen back for Heiskanen. That shot went wide. Rajala tracks it down. Puts it behind for Mainalainen. On for Vatanen. Power play is over. Slap shot, kicker at the save. Wasn't sure where it went. Grabbed off and carried out to center ice. And finally into the Finland zone by Schwinger.
Rajala, number 25 for Finland, can really shoot the puck, but he was looking far side for a deflection and hit a couple of bodies in front.
Otama will send this in. Comes off the sideboards, and Kasper will leave it for Howden. Howden will put on the brakes and send it up the middle for Ganal. And the first period will come to an end. 16-3, the shots in favor of Finland, but Valtteri Filppula, the only one to find the back of the net. 1-0 Finland.
Score after the first period. Team Austria 0, Team Finland 1. Laukaukset kohti maalia ensimmäisessä erässä. Suomi 16, Itävalta 3. Shots on goal in the first period. Team Finland 16, Team Austria 3. Helsingissä ottelussa Kanada Sveitsi. Tilanne ensimmäisessä erässä 1-1. In Helsinki, the score between Team Canada and Team Switzerland is 1-1. Kicks. Good boys. ensimmäisen erän.
No ice, no ice, no ice. Which side we go on? Which side? Which side? Which side? Far side, thank you. Good battle, good battle. Good battle, good work. Good work, boys. Nice job, nice job, nice job. Good play, good play. Free, boys. We're good.
Look at the work of the netminders in that first period. Dave Kickert was the busier of the two. Faced 16 shots, stopped 15. And UC Old Kenora, 3 for 3 in that opening frame. As expected, everything balanced out rather nicely as far as Finland is concerned. Shots on goal of all the 16 they had, no one has more than 2. Ice time is fairly balanced out as Finland heavily favored in this game.
Put into perspective with Finland getting 16 shots and Austria 3. In Austria's last game, they played against Latvia and outshot them 15-3 in the third period. They were coming on, but they couldn't get it at the tail end, losing in a shootout.
Third period on, Austria was the better team. But the final score was 4-3 in favor of Latvia, so Latvia will no longer be in the relegation conversation. And barring a miracle in this game, for Austria, it will come down to the Great Britain game on Monday. Great Britain with 1 point. And that's the only reason that that game on Monday, there's a shot by Antila, save made, will be of importance.
I'm sure Kickert realized that puck had fallen between his legs. He looked kind of over both shoulders afterwards, the big forward, the 36-year-old Antila, who will turn 37 in 6 days.
Has really made a terrific career here. Kind of a late bloomer, I guess. Came on the international scene with some huge goals for Finland. Became quite a bit of a fan favorite. Peter Schneider pitches a backhander to the short side. That never got in. Manninen jams it back in for Lehtinen. And Lehtinen will start back for Finland. Hartikainen hits the line. Hartikainen with the wrist shot. That went wide. Hackle will jam it down the boards. And this will not be icing. Finland was changing. And back forward, Heiskanen. Heiskanen gets to center, fakes a couple of passes, so that throws everybody's timing off. So they'll have to circle back. Heiskanen for Seppala and back for Heiskanen. Sends it through, and the pass just beyond the reach of Rajala, and an icing call against Finland.
Finland, when they build their national teams, they really do build for the role that they want that player to play. They don't just get all the best players they can and then sort it out afterwards. And for a guy like Bjornanen, he's good on the face-off, he's a good penalty killer. For Antila, he's a third, fourth line checker, good penalty killer with that long reach. Their power play guys will specifically be chosen for what roles they can play. Hartikainen, front of the net guy. Rajala, he's a shooter on the second unit, that sort of thing.
And that's why sometimes when you get to international competition, people sometimes question their roster at the beginning, saying this NHL player was available or that NHL player was available. Because you're right, they just slot players in where they should be. At the line it comes, Heiskanen walks it in, and Kickert sees it and snares it, and we'll get a face-off in the Austrian end of the ice.
That's a good job by the Austrians to allow the goaltender to see it. Heiskanen understands he's got some room to get there. The battle in front with Brunner, and nobody's going to put their stick in the way, so Kickert can get it right into the glove. Kickert played in Vienna for the Capitals. They lost in the semifinal. His counterpart on that team as a goaltender is the other goaltender for Austria, Bernard Starkbaum, who's played the bulk of the games but is getting the night off in this one. Not dressed.
Howdom gets it outside, turned back over, and Kickert with another couple of saves in tight as Pessonen found himself alone in front of the Austrian net.
Kept that on his backhand. I think he was trying to go over the glove, and it couldn't elevate it to where he wanted. As Pessonen had a bit of a curious shootout attempt against Sweden. The last shooter had to score, turned backwards at the hash marks, kept it on his backhand, and tried to go over the glove and almost did the same thing right there they did in the shootout. Didn't get there.
Lamico out to take this face-off against Nistner. It's sent up to the blue line. Chopping at it there was Raffel. He'll take it back into his own zone. Long lead pass for Yoel Armia. Armia takes a look, no one with him. Lets the shot go, turned away by Kickert. Armia stays with it. That long stick of Yoel Armia sends it back in from the line. And a good scoring opportunity for Esa Lindell, but he missed the net. And Otema will take this back into his own zone. And we talk about 7 and 10 days and 4 and 5 days for Austria. And then to top it off, they go to overtime with Team USA. Luke Hughes gets the winner in overtime. Then they go to a shootout to beat Czechia. They tie it late. Nothing solved in overtime, and then they do win it in the shootout. There's a shot by Otema. That's deflected wide. First ever win for Austria against Czechia in the World Championship. And then they go to a shootout last night against Latvia. So Austria has played a lot of hockey here in this World Championship.
And they haven't really broken down. Credit to them that it's still a one-goal game, and they defend more than they are in the offensive zone, so they don't draw a lot of penalties. Power play is 4 for 18, but 3 of those goals came in the game against Norway.
Hackle will send this across. Hirschlager will send this in, and turning out of the corner is Lettinen. Hartikainen goes rink wide for Granlund. Granlund settles it down, pulls it to the forehand, walks it in, into the slot for Hartikainen. And again, that got blocked. Boy, Hartikainen has had some looks in this World Championship. Back to the line it comes, Lettinen through traffic, scramble in front, kicker down, scores! Granlund may have been the last to get it. And it is a 2-0 game. All those chances for Hartikainen, and he's still looking for his first goal. And Granlund taps that one in, and for Mikael Granlund, that's his 3rd of this World Championship.
Puts the crowd on its feet, and his puck recovery towards the net. And you think it's clear, but it's not. Kickert makes a stop, but he can't find the rebound in time, as Granlund is in a great position above the goal line, stick ready. This bounces past the defenseman Hackle and right to the goal scorer's stick, Granlund. And you know, you hang around the net, you stay above the puck, rebounds come to you. 2-0 Finland.
Salonen throws this down to the corner boards. And Lucas Howden will start back. Howden hits the line. Out there with Ganal and Kasper. It's stopped inside the Finnish blue line. And Salonen will send it back. Dodging a check there was Rajala. And Nico Brunner gets stripped of the puck by Salonen, then jams it on for Kasper. And Kasper will play it back for Brunner. Brunner tried to leave it for Kasper, didn't get enough on the pass. And that allows Finland to break it up. And back up for Heiskanen. Off his stick. Seppala follows up. Pessanen leaves it there for Yoel Armia. And Armia will play it around the boards.
How about Lettinen getting another point? Still good at the blue line. Patience and then getting shots that create rebounds.
Chance for Schneider. Poked off his stick. Good defensive play there by Freeman. Gets to center. Mayer breaks it up and chops it right back into the Finland zone. Finland will have tomorrow off. Next action for them will not be until Tuesday, so they get a couple of days here. That's what happens when you're the host country. That's what happens when you're favored and #1 coming in to this World Championship.
Look at Hartikainen taking away the goalie's eyes. That's why kicker can't react in time on that rebound, and the bounce is fortunate for Granlund as Hackle wants to front this puck and then swat the puck away, but misses it. 4 assists for Hartikainen, and he's teamed up well with Granlund. He's the puck protector on the line, and then get it to Granlund, who's most oftentimes the shooter.
52 games played in the NHL for Hartikainen with the Edmonton Oilers, 2010 to 2013. Spent some time in the American Hockey League with Oklahoma City. Moved on to the KHL, so uncertain as to where he will play next season. Was Rookie of the Year in Kuopio. Big man, controls the puck very well and fits into that Finland system very, very well.
Yeah, and I don't want to be a generalist here, but he plays like most Finnish players do. Can't get the puck off him. You know, it's like trying to open a locked door. They're just so good along the wall.
Sundell tried to play this up. It got blocked, but taken now by Bernd Wolf. Wolf to center, puts it off a stick and in. And Lettinen going after it, but they were going to call this offside.
This is coming down for icing. Lettinen, wonderful tournament for him. Has a gold from the 2014 World Juniors. Played this past season, Lettinen did in Zurich with the Lions in the Swiss League. Heard he's going to go to SKA St. Petersburg next year, but again, a lot of that's going to change players choosing to play in Russia.
Yeah, there'd be lots of players available. Talking to some of the NHL scouts, that's kind of why some of them have made their way over here, because of some players who have either been in the National Hockey League or maybe are close to being the National Hockey League player or an American League player that played in the KHL that may be looking for a place to play. Taken by Granlund. Granlund down to the goal line for Manninen. Manninen on for Hartikainen. Hartikainen gets tied up in behind the net. And get physical there with Ali Wakovitz. Controlled by Manninen. Back for Hartikainen. In from the blue line is Lettinen. Back for Hartikainen. And finally, Hartikainen gets taken down, but on the puck is Manninen. For Granlund. Granlund in front looking for Hartikainen. And Wakovitz got a stick on that to deflect it away. This is Finland hockey. Cross it goes. Heiskanen in with a backhander. And Kickert will make the save and hang on to it. Finland 2, Austria no score.
This year, hundreds of volunteers will be working on the tournament. Without this end goal, no one else would be here today. So that we can make a record. Volunteers are the record makers that we need. Tänäkin vuonna turnauksen parissa työskentelee satoja vapaaehtoisia, jotta sinä, minä, pelaajat kentällä, ihan tahansa täällä, voisi tehdä ihmeitä. Vapaaehtoistyöntekijät ovat ihmeiden tekijöitä, joita me tarvitsemme. Jokaisessa pelissä valitsemme yhden vapaaehtoistyöntekijän. Each game we reward one volunteer. Volunteer of the game in this game is Mette Valdesanka from Hospital Club.
Finland with the lead here on Austria as the preliminary round starts to wind down. This is game 6 for each of these teams. Miro Heiskanen had it knocked off his stick by Schwinger. Schwinger sends it on the right side. Killian Zindel will play it through. On for Nico Feldner. Feldner gets spilled in the corner. And back up for Valtteri Filppula to the center. That's as far as that play gets. Following up, though, is Seppala. Seppala will send it around to the far corner. Rajala trying to play it back at the line, does. Filppula for Heiskanen. Heiskanen sends it back for Valtteri Filppula. And back for Heiskanen. Back for Filppula. Chips it through for Rajala. Salonen, the other member of this line. Again, it comes back at the line. They set it up in the shot by Freeman. That got turned away by Kickert. Salonen. Laniko as Finland starts a line change. Back for Freeman. Freeman looking backdoor for Laniko. Takes it off the corner boards for Vatanen. Vatanen for Freeman. Left pad save made by Kickert. Chopped down the boards but blocked there by Freeman. Ackerman. Number 26 for Austria, the big guy, trying to work it free off the corner boards. They will jam it there and get a stoppage in play.
Broken stick on the play for Feldner, and Ackerman was handling the stick that is curved the wrong way, so he was having a little bit of difficulty. He just wanted to freeze that to get the whistle.
Lucas Howden for Austria has a goal in this tournament, power play marker. You just had the one penalty in this game, that to Raffel.
Adam's the birthday boy today.
And you wonder if some players like Raffel, some of the older players for Austria, if their ice time isn't going to be really managed in this game. Kickert with another save. Their number 1 netminder, Bernard Starkbaum, not even dressed for this game. Sami Vatanen back into his own end. Vatanen gets taken down, play goes on. Shot and a save made as Howden gets that one through. 2-0 Finland with the lead. One in the first, one here in the second. In that Canada-Switzerland game, a wild first period, 3-3 after the opening period. But before the game, Anders Ambule was honored. He is in World Championship game number 120. He becomes the all-time leader in games played in World Championship competition. So congratulations to him, a great career. Centered to the front of the net. Bjornen couldn't get a stick on it. Sent around and grabbed off. And back up the ice. Benjamin Nistner feeds it through for Schneider. Back for Nistner. Knife to backhander wide. That line with Raffel back out now for Austria. Antila will get to center. Antila dumps it in, goes in after it. Gets tied up there with Unterweger. And Schneider on the puck. Sends it across, gets it back. Schneider with the wrist shot. That's off a stick and over top the net. And taken by Lehtinen, who leads all defensemen in scoring in this tournament with 8 points. Heitinen trying to play it up the boards. Bjornanen, by the way, of Finland, #1 in the face-off department in this tournament. And now another penalty is coming to Austria. Bernd Wolf is being ticketed for tripping.
I think they got Vukovic here. He ran some subtle interference.
Yep, it is Vukovic.
Bottom of your screen getting in the way. Just a push off of Otama, but enough to knock him down. Otama didn't realize anybody was coming in on his left side. And with that, Finland will have the second power play for them and the second power play overall in this game.
Hartikainen back to the line. Lehtinen on for Granlund. Granlund to the front of the net, kicked it to save, rebound. And Hartikainen all tied up in front of the net. Now, there is one area that Finland probably does want to work on. They want to make sure that their power play, when they advance in this tournament, is working as best as it possibly can. It's been good for them in this World Championship. Granlund floats this across. Lehtinen sends it down. Manninen plays it back for Lehtinen. Lehtinen, watched by Huber. Hartikainen, and what a chance for Granlund. What a pass by Hartikainen. And Kickert gets a piece of it, maybe with the cheater of the glove. Back at the line, Lehtinen. Back for Granlund, and back for Lehtinen. Lehtinen through traffic, Kickert the save, and the rebound chopped off the boards by Dominic Hackl, and an odd man shorthanded chance. Ganal in with Huber, and Ganal the shot save made by Olkinora. Long pass and ends up back on the stick of Granlund. Salonen gets it, stuffs it back for Vatanen. Vatanen trying to get that back for Salonen, intercepted, and Schwinger will get it down the ice.
Just a little loose with the puck, trying to go one-on-one, Vatanen, as more NHL players spill over the boards for Finland on this power play.
Chipped in behind the net. Still waiting on some players. Sweden waiting on William Nylander. Arrived today and is expected to be in Sweden's next game, which will be on Sunday, tomorrow, against Norway. Team USA still waiting on a couple of players. Would probably like to find another defenseman if they could with the injury to John Merrill. But Matt Boldy and Ryan Hartman still not here and playing. Pessinen with the chance in front. And that gets deflected over top the net and out of play as the power play comes to an end.
Well, that goaltender is the reason that it's still a 2-goal game. Wonderful reach across off the thumb of the glove. Granlund's typically the shooter on this power play, and he did exactly what he needed to do to get towards the net, but the goaltender one-upped him with that stop. Mikael Granlund shooting off that right wing is a left-hand shot. Nice sweep through motion.
Granlund, a good addition to this team. Missed the opening game. Then they added Heiskanen, they added Esa Lindell. Heiskanen busy in his debut. Chance in front, Kickert made the save on that. 19-12 in game 1 for Miro Heiskanen. There's a shot from the line, deflected in front by Bjornanen. Put off the boards, and Esa Lindell will chase this down. Lindell stopped there by Schneider. Bjornanen will play it back for Esa Lindell with 5.5 to go here in period number 2, and the shots 29-6 in favor of Finland.
They've really just controlled the game. Been pockets for Austria, but nothing continuous in the offensive zone.
Yoel Armia going after it. Zindel back there. Kasper in the corner as well. Armia with that long stick. Casper plays it on for Sundell. He couldn't get anywhere. Casper follows up. Tight quarters. Casper trying to get that on for Ganal. Heiskanen blocked it at the line. Heiskanen tracks it down. Plays it back for Freeman. Pressured there by Howdem, and he'll send it down low. Juho Lamiko waits for it in behind the net. Armia trying to work it off the backboards. And finally gathered in and cleared away by Ganal. Freeman after it, gets there ahead of Howdem. Casper in on the forecheck on Heiskanen. Heiskanen will tight turn and puts on the brakes in behind Olkinora.
They have no problem, Finland does. They'll wait. They'll come up as a unit of 5. A couple of curls by forwards, and here it comes.
Heiskanen for Mannanen. He tried a little redirect for Granlund. That's broken up by Lebler. Cleared out through center. Back in now, lead pass for Hartikainen. Hartikainen and Dominic Hackle go after a loose puck in the corner. Ali Vukovic down there to clear it out to center ice. And Granlund sends it back for Heitinen and on for Lettinen and on for Mannanen. Mannanen looking for Granlund. It got blocked. Heitinen will find Granlund. Back for Heitinen. Almost picked off there by Huber. And now a puck battle on the far side. Ali Vukovic trying to send it out of the zone does. Kirschlager plays it over for Huber. And the wrister is blocked, but offside is called. 3:20 to go here in the second period. Finland in control. Wild game over in Helsinki. Switzerland and Canada battling for top spot. Those two teams coming in at 4-0. Deflected up through center. Again, the top two teams stay in the city that they're in. Teams 3 and 4 will make the flip for the quarterfinals. There is a caveat to that, but I don't think that's going to come into play. If Finland would have finished 3 or 4, they would stay here. But I don't think there's much chance of that happening.
And the reason being the bigger rink, the home crowd here, get about 13,700 for these games for Finland.
Beautiful building, brand new. Into the slot it goes. Valtteri Filppula tried to redirect it. Salonen in on the forecheck, but carried out and cleared up through center ice by Benjamin Nisner. Long pass from Otama, picked off by Clemens Unterweger. He couldn't get anywhere, and back in for Antila. Antila tried the old toe drag, that didn't work. That is a long toe drag.
And a really good job by David Mayer trying to stick with that 6'8" frame and that 6'4" stick.
It has to be, it can't be a normal off the shelf. Well, none of them are off the shelf, but you know what I mean. It can't, there has to be a specialized and a personalized stick made for him.
He can take that thing fly fishing.
That is, yep. There's some rivers where he could put it on the bank on the other side. In across the line, Lamico puts on the brakes. Yoel Armia chases it down. Armia. Sammy Vatanen on for Freeman. The shot, that was blocked as David Mayer got in front of it. And this will be cleared by Ganal. Back down the ice it goes.
Well, O'Connor got a good view in the crease of this game. Just 6 shots through almost 2 entire periods.
Vatanen heads to the bench for a change. There's a penalty coming up.
O'Connor was snoozing. He didn't know to go to the bench.
Now 6 attackers. Back for Heitinen. Pessanen for Yoel Armia. Salonen is in front. Armia sends it back for Lehtinen. Lehtinen gets away from Kasper. Back for Armia. And back for Lehtinen. That blast, friendly or a blasted front that is blocked. And penalty now being called.
And I'll talk about the unselfishness of the Finns. Nicholas Freeman was at the left point on the delayed call. And as Finland had the puck, he changed so that Mikko Lehtinen could come on, the power play guy, the 6-on-5 in the last little part. Like, if Freeman wanted to, he could have stayed out there. He'll be part of the 6-on-5, a couple of seconds left in the period, because he's not going to be on the power play next period, but that's the unselfishness, and Unterweger's in the penalty box.
Lucas Howden limped his way to the Austrian bench, blocked a shot, and that's probably something that Austria and Finland want to avoid in this game. Here's another 2-on-1 shorthanded. Huber with the shot. Rebound, O'Connor, 2 or 3 saves in tight. And the period comes to an end. Huber and Wakovitz shorthanded, and Jussi O'Connor.
Leg strength with the right pad to keep it there. Vukovic, one chance, then another nice pass. Fake for the shot. And the backhand doesn't elevate the puck.
Wow. Well, O'Connor picked up the shutout last night, or yesterday afternoon against Great Britain. Had an easy afternoon. He's made some saves in this one. 2-0 Finland, 40 minutes done.
Helsingissä ottelu Kanada-Sveitsi on tilanteessa. Team Austria tilanne toisen erän jälkeen Itävalta 0, Suomi 2.
Hey! Good job, boys. Good work. Just be mindful of that blue there. I'll talk to you if you're getting too close, all right? I said I'll talk to you if you're getting too close to the paint there. That side, boys, that side. Watch that crease! Here we go. Dig! Here we go! Dig! Okay. Good work. Good job, boys. Good job. A little quick, yeah. A little quick, I agree. Yeah. We had a broken stick on the ice. Yeah.
Max, tell them to be quicker.
UCO Kenora has not been busy, made a couple of big saves right at the end of the period as Huber and Ali Wakovitz on a shorthanded situation. And yes, the save is big to preserve no goals against, but it's only a 2-goal lead for Finland.
Yeah, and they haven't had a power play in the game yet. Finland, this is their third that carries over from late second. And Vukovic will start on the penalty kill with Ganal, and they were having a long discussion, the 4 Austrian penalty killers, about how to deal with this Finnish power play.
4 shots in this game for Mikael Granlund. 3 in that second period. Leading the ice time is Miro Heiskanen at 13:46 for Finland. There's Sami Vatanen. Get a couple players not dressed in this game for these two teams. Billy Polka missed the last game as well. Yuri Inola out of this game. Harry Sateri, one of the netminders, is not even dressed for this game. Bernard Starkbaum, the #1 netminder for Austria, is not dressed. They are giving him a bit of a breather in preparation. There's Pessinen with a chance, and Kickert will make the save and hang on, and Kickert has been good.
He has been very good. Followed this pass across. The Finns attack from the line. Backhand pass from Rajala. And it's going to go right to the forehand of Pessinen. And when you pull the goalie across, you got to shoot back from where he came from. Pessinen wasn't able to, but again, Kickert got big, and you're stopping it with your chest as a goaltender. You're positionally sound.
Dominik Heinrich is the other one not dressed for Austria. He's their best offensive defenseman, has 2 goals and 5 points in the tournament. There's a slap shot, that's off a stick and wide. 45 seconds now left in the minor penalty to Clemens Unterweger. Filppula back for Heiskanen. On for Vatanen, back for Heiskanen. Works it to the middle of the ice, gets it for Filppula. Without a stick is Raffel. On for Vatanen. Back up top, Heiskanen wasn't in the wheelhouse, doesn't shoot it. He'll dish it off. Rajala to the goal line for Pessinen. Back it comes. Vatanen back for Heiskanen. And Kickert follows the moving puck and makes the save.
It's a really good save so that Raffel can go to the bench and get his stick. He had handed it off to his defenseman, Hackle. And I was just watching the captain for Austria, Thomas Raffel, try to block shots, but he was keeping his hands. He had no stick, so he's kind of moving his hands out, and he trying to take off the shooting lane. I'm thinking, oh, if you don't block one off your hand. You've got a big game coming up. And so that save allows Austria to get some fresh players onto the ice.
Raffel, 35 years of age, his 4th World Championship, got his 5th World Championship goal in the game last night. Taken and cleared up the boards by Ackerman and sent all the way down the ice, but the penalty is over, so this will be an icing call. And Finland now up to 33 shots on goal, so Kickert has stopped 31 of 33.
Captain Thomas Raffel was a part of the Red Bull Salzburg team that won the championship in the Ice Hockey League, the Inter-Central European Hockey League, primarily in Austria. Got the game-winning goal in Game 4. It was a sweep.
Shot, Kickert with another save. Granlund on for Hartikainen. Hartikainen takes a bump there from Brunner. Granlund trying to center it. Kickert steers that away. Kickert plays in Vienna. And all the way back for Lehtinen. Puts on the brakes. Lehtinen will dish it off. And this will get cleared out at center ice. And a regroup now for Finland. Lehtinen has seen some NHL action, very limited. And you wonder at 35 years of age he would be content to stay over here and play.
I don't think he wants to go anywhere.
No. Here's Casper, who wants to go lots of places, starting with the NHL draft. Number 24 for Austria. Taken by Bjornanen. He got pressured by Benjamin Nisner. The puck jammed up along the boards. (4-3) Switzerland. The second period has just ended in Helsinki. Bouncing puck in front of Kenora. A couple more saves. And now a penalty is coming to Esa Lindell. Lindell may have saved a goal.
That was Nisner in front of the net on the backhand after a bouncing puck surprised everybody. Okenora was stretching out that left pad, and if Nisner wasn't tied up, he would be able to pop it in. Instead, the hooking call once Finland touches the puck.
And now play does get whistled down.
Mikael Nord, the referee, number 41, a Swedish referee, officiating this game here, and Lindell knows in tying up that stick in front of the net, that's a hooking call. Just kept alive by Zundell. Thrown towards the net, bounces, and here's where Nisner gets one shot at it and can't get the other one. That would have been an interesting situation if he'd gotten the blade on that, if the pad would have come across or not. But power play, their first of the game for Austria.
One goal in the first, one in the second. Filppula opened the scoring from Hartikainen and Granlund, and then Granlund from Hartikainen and Lehtinen. Ultima plays it for Bjornanen. Bjornanen plays it on for Antila. He'll play it down the ice, and all four of the Finland penalty killers will head to the bench on a change. Unterweger sends it on. Quick wrist shot there by Howdem, and a good save by Old Kenora.
Take that shot if you have it. It's a scoring area, gain the line with some speed. And that is, of course, Marco Kasper. And now you try to win a face-off. I would do a quick strike, just get it back to the point. Try to set up Zundell for a one-timer. He's got a real heavy shot. Number 14, he's gonna have the puck there.
He'll dish it off to Schneider. Gets it down for Nisner. Nisner comes near side for Raffel. Raffel plays it back up top. Vukovic sends it to the goal line for Raffel. Off a skate in front, Schneider gathers it in. 3 power play goals in the tournament for Austria, and there's a turnover. Schneider's backhand pass is gobbled up. Neemelainen plays it down for Lamiko. Lamiko dodged a check from Zundell, and the puck is settled down there with Nisner, and he'll leave it for Zundell. You see Old Kenora coming into this game with a goals against average of .33. Number 1 in the World Championship, save percentage of .983, which was number 1 in the World Championship. We mentioned Harry Sateri not dressed. Sateri's numbers right up there as well. His goals against average is 3rd best at 1.44. His save percentage is 5th best at .926. There's a shot by Kasper, and that's off a stick over top the net. Bernd Wolf tied up there with Seppala. Kasper on the puck. Kasper brings it to the net. It's in the paint. Where is it? Old Kenora's got the legs from one post to the other and manages to find the loose puck and hangs onto it.
Boy, it's fun watching this youngster play. Has no fear, drives right towards the net. He's going to go for the blue paint, try and do a quick little stuff, and then follow through. But when he's tied up with Ultima, Okenora can't get his glove on that puck that goes off his toe. At that moment there, he actually kicks it away from himself and is looking around for it, like trying to find a penny. Don't have those anymore in Canada.
Yussi Kenora at 6'3" and pretty much had that entire bottom of the net covered. But a good play by Marco Kasper. Granlund off the draw, sends it on for Esa Lindell. He'll dump it in. Hartikainen. Back. Heiskanen and Lundell, the two Dallas defensemen now paired together as the penalty to Lindell has expired. On for Granlund, down for Lindell. For Hartikainen, try to get it back to Lindell. It's on the back of the net. They knock it off. Manninen will play it back for Granlund. Granlund trying to dipsy his way to the front, does. And Manninen with the shot and getting his stick in front of that was Huber. Back for Heiskanen. He'll drop it off. Granlund trying to work it off the boards. Knocked off his stick and back out the center. Lindell back up for Granlund. For Manninen. Tried to get it back to Granlund. Good defensive play there by Bernd Wolf to break it up. Kirschlager goes after it. Knocks it free. Ackerman will play it across ice. And up at center, and Kirschlager will send it the rest of the way in. Lehtinen played it across. It gets away from Salonen, and Feldner will put this right back in. So 6 shots here for Austria in the third period. After 7 through the first 2.
They seem to be a better third period team than any other throughout this tournament.
Here's another shot, blockered away by Old Kenora. That one off a swinger. And now back for Valtteri Filppula. For Rajala, scores! Up top, short side for Toni Rajala. And that's his third of this World Championship, and it's 3-0 here in the third.
That'll bring the building to life. Rajala can really place the puck where he wants. And Filppula with a nice stick handling, the Lofflet pass. Right up the toe. That is Stan Mikita. Off the shoulder. Kicker tries to stay up for as long as he can, but when he's going down is at the wrong time as this goes up, and that is the call. 3-0 Finland. A goal in each period. They'll be just fine with that.
There was a bit of a delay. I think they were allowing Austria to take a look at that at the blue line to see whether or not they wanted to have a further look as to whether or not it was offside or not, but they dropped the puck and play continues. So Rajala from Valtteri Filppula. And a 3-0 lead now for Finland.
Lindell got that pass to Filppula with speed in the neutral zone, and he's so shifty, he buys enough time, and that allows Rajala to keep his speed up down the left wing.
So 2 points for Granlund, 2 points for Rajala, each 1-1. 3-0 Finland with the lead here in period number 3 in Tampere. Also a couple of assists for Hartikainen in this game. A clean win for Finland, and that will confirm that they will finish in the top 2. Because Team USA, that sits in 3rd spot right now, even though they have 2 games left and could tie them in the points category, Finland does have the tiebreaker. So USA could eliminate Sweden from the top 2, but they could not eliminate Finland from the top 2. Otamo will send this out at center. And across, and Zundell will snap it in. Olkanora will leave it there for Lindell. You see Olkanora 3-0 in this tournament. Harry Sateri 1-1. His only loss was the shootout loss to Sweden. Bounces into Kickert. He'll punt that away. And around for Heiskanen. On for Hartikainen. Has Granlund in front. And Granlund tried to get that from his skates to his stick. And by that time he was getting pressured. And Austria will clear. Hartikainen stopped at center ice. Gets it again, plays it back into his own end for Miro Heiskanen. For Manninen, and he'll drop it there for Seppala.
Well, 46 games now at the World Championship in total for Marcus Granlund. 45 points with the 2 points he has this evening.
Taken at center, Kirschlager on for Raffel. Raffel takes it to the outside. Raffel back at the line, shot through traffic, deflected and grabbed off by Filppula. Little delay by Filppula, gets away from Raffel. Dishes it off, and it goes Salonen with the wristers. He took the cross-ice pass from Rajala. Back to the line for Vatanen. To the front of the net, Kickert down, and Kickert will hang on to it. 9:22 left to go in the 3rd period, and a 3-0 lead for Finland. Face-off will be in the Austrian zone. Austria day off tomorrow, and then a huge game on Monday. Shot from Armia, that's turned away. Taken by Pessanen. Pessanen trying to work it off the backboards. Kasper's on the puck. Kasper getting hounded there, dishes it across. Nico Brunner will get it up at center. Hit across, Howden, Ganal, back for Howden. Kasper finds the loose puck. Kasper gets it back for Howden. And Howden on that short side couldn't get it to the front of the net. Back to the blue line. And the crowd into it now with 8:35 to go. Kasper centers, and Ganal couldn't get a stick on it. And Pessanen sends it in, heads to the bench for a change, or at least some of his teammates do.
Crowd's having some fun, Dennis.
They are.
It's going to be a Saturday night special.
Yeah, I'm not sure winning or losing this game would have made a difference, but they are in a festive mood, and why not? This country has had so much hockey success over the last number of years, and at all levels, whether it's men, whether it's women, whether it's the U18s, whatever the case may be, although Sweden winning the last U18s. Lebler off the corner boards, turns, fires it towards the front of the net, steered away by Freeman. Freeman now getting roughed up in the corner, along with Huber, as they battle for a loose puck. Huber 6'4", 209, 21 years of age. There's a shot through traffic. Old Kenora the save on the short side and hangs on to it.
Talked about all the success that Finland is having. There's Valtteri Filppula with some of his points. They'll come into the picture and score a goal right there. Sneaky. That got the game underway early. Little dish off pass. Rajala, top shelf near side. That's the 3-0 goal. And all the success that Finland's had in hockey, men's, women's, different levels, it's not their national sport, Dennis. The national sport in Finland is pesäpallo, which is translated as nest ball. It's a type of baseball.
Really?
Or pesas, yes. This championship in this country is the Super Pesas.
You learn something every day. Maybe we should go out and see if there's a match somewhere tomorrow morning.
We have a day off on what day next?
Granlund carries in. Granlund fires. Kicker at the save. And off the boards and back down the ice it goes. Have you seen this game played?
I have not. Reading about it a little bit.
So it's bats and gloves and...
Yep, but it's a strange configuration. It's not a diamond. It's almost like the letter P with squares.
Kicker with another good save. You really have my interest peaked now. I'm gonna have to put that on the Google machine.
Enjoy it.
See what we come up with. Sent down the ice and an icing call here. And the face-off will come back.
I thought there was a break and I was gonna get the Google machine going. Granlund with a toe drag, but doesn't pick a corner. Kicker's been good in this game. Let's give him his due. 39 shots for Finland.
A fast-moving bat and ball sport that is often referred to as the national sport of Finland. Often referred to, so we could debate whether or not hockey is the national sport.
2 periods of 4 innings each. The more you look and read about it, the more you'll want to either see a game or go play. And I know you have a vacation planned after this. So go down for icing.
Well, something we'll have to mark on the calendar.
Fans are really going to drink up this game into the night, and for good reason. Their team, a 5-0 win, a 2-1 win, a 4-1 win. The 3-2 shootout loss to Sweden stings a little bit. A 6-0 win in this display. They do not give up a lot.
Off the face-off, Armia gets it on for Lettinen. Lettinen short side high, tipped away, and Ganal will carry it back. Ganal out of heads for the front of the net, trying to get it into an odd man rush. Yoel Armia, his stick is tied up, so he'll kick this ahead for Lammikko. He'll drop for Armia, and Armia snapped that, and the stick snapped more than the puck did. Heiskanen breaks it up. Ooh, Heiskanen gets taken to the backboards with a solid jolt. He was bent over, and Heiskanen adjusting the helmet as he took that hit from Brian Lebler. Jornanen will send this in. Vukovic retrieves his stick. Neenalainen Jams it on for Bjornanen, back for Meinalainen, and back for Bjornanen. Puts it on the backhand and sends it in behind the Austrian net. Unterweger knocks the puck loose and grabbed off by David Mayer. Mayer will gently send this back into the Finland zone.
This Austrian team works hard. They play a clean game. There's not a lot of hijinks. They don't do stupid stuff after the whistle. They work hard. They play as a team. They defend well.
There's a back pass in front for Granlund. That failed to materialize. Played back to the line. Granlund. Manninen on for Hartikainen. Hartikainen trying to center. Grabbed off by Nico Feldner. Feldner stripped of the puck by Manninen. But it's on for Ackerman. Ackerman shot save made. Olkanora. Ackerman on it again. Shots very much in favor of Finland, 39-16 here in the third period. Finland getting another change in.
That last shot gave Olkanora a little trouble up on the shoulder on the glove side.
This will get flipped in. Salonen going after it, chalked away from him. And Dominic Hackl plays it on for Thomas Raffel. Raffel in for Schneider. Schneider gets tied up there, gets the puck loose for Raffel. Back for Schneider. Trying to work it off the corner boards, does! And then had his stick lifted as he was about to shoot it. And then a blast from Kirschlager poked away by Valtteri Filppula. Into the slot, quick shot, Olkanora makes a save off Schneider. Austria's not going away quietly.
No, they're getting a couple of shots late here, and Peter Schneider, who had the shootout goal against Czechia, which is going to go down in lore for Austria beating them at the Men's World Championship for the first time ever.
Brian Levler tied it late.
Have to review that too, that he didn't kick it in.
Played up the boards by Wimmer. Into the final 2 minutes now of this one. And Finland with a 3-0 lead. And a couple days off now for Finland, and a bit of a late call, but offside is called against Austria.
Well, when you go back to the Olympics, 6-2 win against Slovakia, 3-1 win against Latvia, that 4-3 come from behind against Sweden, and then the overtime winner, regulation against the Russian Olympic Committee, 2-1 for the gold medal there. Their identity is one in which you have to first and foremost try to outwork them every time they have the puck. And in this game, Austria did everything they could, but they just got squeezed out of this game.
Through center for Lettinen. Switzerland has taken a 5-3 lead on Canada. That is midway through the third, maybe not even in that one. We'll take you there as soon as this one is done. Cross ice pass is intercepted. Big hit there. 16 minutes left in that other one. So Canada down by a couple. Those two teams tied at 4-0 coming into today's action. Inner cross drop back for Granlund. Off a skate, Sundell plays it up the boards. Blocked by Granlund, down for Hartikainen. Hartikainen to the front of the net. Kept in at the line, long wrist shot, that one over top the net. Granlund on it again. Miro Heiskanen down for Hartikainen. Hartikainen cross ice looking for Granlund. Esa Lindell at the line will hold it in. Lindell into the slot for Hartikainen, bounced away to Manninen. Manninen drops it back for Granlund. Back for Manninen. For Hartikainen, away from him. Taken by Schwinger. He'll lift it out to center ice. Nico Feldner is there. One last shot by Nico Feldner. And another shutout for Jussi Olkinuora. His third of this World Championship. And a 3-0 final, 39-17 your final shots. Finland one in the first, one in the second, one in the third. Austria's best period was the third. They'll try and take that into Monday's game against Great Britain, which is a must-win situation for them if they want to stay in the main group.
Well, the Lion roared today, that's for sure. Played their game to a T, spread out the ice time, spread out the scoring, and with a goaltender who's pretty much squeaky clean in this tournament in Olkinuora, they'll build their game from the net out. It's a very unselfish team play that gets Finland their goals, and Austria hard-pressed to score in some of their other games. Went up against one of the best teams here.
So Finland will up its record. Just the one loss in 6 games played. Win over Norway, win over Latvia, win over Team USA. The shootout loss to Sweden. And then the game against Great Britain that they won 6-0. They win this one 3-0. So points in every game that they have played in this World Championship. We'll now have a player of the game presentations and then the national anthem of Finland. And then the fans in this building some will come back for the final game between Czechia and Norway, and some will start the celebration. 2 points for Hartikainen, 2 points for Granlund, 2 points for Filppula, and another shutout for Olkinuora.
Will be presented by Kalevi Lumminen.
Well, he stopped 10, only 10 shots against Great Britain and 20 shots against Latvia. That's 30 coming into this game, 49 shots in his 3 shutouts.
Ali Bukovic.
And Ali Bukovic, the player of the game for Austria.
Could have spoiled that shutout very late in the second on a 2-on-1 on a penalty kill.
The best player of Team Finland, number 70, Teemu Hartikainen.
Well, Teemu Hartikainen gets 2 assists. We've talked about the chances that he's had to find the back of the net. And he's yet to do that, but is a tough player to handle down low for Finland and plays that game that Finland loves to play. And a fan favorite here is Hartikainen. So Finland with another victory. Finland another shutout victory as they defeat Austria by a score of 3-0. It'll be a couple of days off now for Finland, and they will close out the tournament against Czechia. And tomorrow will be an off day for Austria, and then they will get ready for their most important game of this championship on Monday against Great Britain. Finland wins 3-0. Now we rise for the Finland national anthem.
For the national anthem of winning team Finland. Helsingissä ottelu Kanada-Sveitsi on kolmannessa erässä tilanteessa Kanada 3, Sveitsi 5. In Helsinki, the score between Team Canada and Team Switzerland is 3-5 in the third period. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship Tournament will continue today here in Nokia Arena at 8:20 p.m. Team Norway will host Team Czechia. Welcome. Vuoden 2022 IIHF kisat jatkuvat. Ja tänään täällä Nokia Areenalla kello 20:20 kohtaavat Norja ja Tsekki. Tervetuloa. Arvoisa yleisö, areena tyhjennetään otteluiden välissä. Nähdään jälleen hetken kuluttua. Ladies and gentlemen, the venue is untied between the games. See you soon.
Marco, I know you get the loss today, but this is a pretty crazy environment to be playing in. Can you explain what this experience has been like?
Yeah, I think it's really cool, especially for Finland, playing in a home championship, world championship. Really great fans here. Unfortunately, the Finland team was much better today, and that's why we lost.
As an 18-year-old, you have shown how much growth you've even got in this tournament. What's this experience been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Now we're gonna focus on the last game. I think we have a great team. I think we can win the next game, and I think that's what we focus on now.
I know there's been a lot of scouts here watching you, and you're probably looking forward to this upcoming NHL draft. How is all of that sitting for you?
Yeah, like I said, right now I'm really just trying to focus playing my best hockey, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm not trying to think about the draft too much. So I'm just trying to focus on helping my team win.
And then if you can answer this in German, as an 18-year-old at this World Championship, what has this experience been like for you?
Yeah, like I said, it's been really cool. Yeah.
Can you answer in German? Sorry.
What's that?
Can you answer in German?
Oh ja, es war sehr cool. Ja. Es sind super Fans hier und es macht mir richtig viel Spaß hier zu spielen. Ja.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Okay, best of luck in your lessons. You see, you get the shutout today, but in this tournament, you and your defense have allowed 3 goals in 6 games. What is working so well for you guys?
Well, that's a good question. Overall, everything more or less. We play well with the puck and we play well defensively, and yeah, I mean, we're off to a hot start, but we still have tons of games left, hopefully.
As somebody who grew up or calls Tampere home, how is this experience wearing this jersey in front of a crowd like this?
Yeah, it's a childhood dream for sure, yeah. I mean, it's 5 years ago, I didn't think I'd be in this situation. So this is so much fun, and we just try to enjoy it.
Do you feel like your team, given that you won gold this year, that they're your #1 team in the world, are you feeling pressure at this point in the tournament?
Well, it's a good question. For sure, I think a little bit, but the healthy pressure. Mostly we just try to enjoy it, and we know each tournament is a different animal, so even though we've had success in the past, it's not a given, so we try to earn it this year as well.
I'll ask that one last question again, but if you could answer in Finnish. Are you, as the #1 team in the world, as the defending gold medalists at the Olympics, how are you feeling maybe pressure in this tournament?
No siis totta kai on paineita, että Leijonat on menesty viime vuosina paljon, mutta sitten me koetaan vaan nauttia päivä kerrallaan, ja me tiedetään, että joka turnaus on haastava voittaa, että ei ole takeita mestaruudesta, mutta totta kai me halutaan, että mennään pitkälle tänä vuonna myöskin.
Thank you, Jussi, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
On välillä kuin terrieri, välillä kuin laiskiainen, töitä paiskiainen. Välillä kuin uljas ori, toisinaan kapinen koni, ja joskus silkka paskiainen. Minkä itselleni voin, luonteeni fillisen toin. Mitä tajuu aineen, mut kun mua silität noin, melkein luvata voin. Että pois aineen.